Hello everyone. So we'll start our operating system classes from today. See, I already completed almost all the topics in the classroom itself. But we have left with two more topics, that is operations on a process and inter-process communications. So we'll complete those two topics now. So I'll start with the operations on a process. So you already know what is a process, how the process states will be, everything we have seen in the class. And you already know how the process can be created, how the process can be terminated also, right? So here each and every process can be created and terminated dynamically. Okay, so here in depth, in detail, he has explained how to create a process and how to terminate the process. Okay, so in the first step, that is a process creation, we have got some terminologies, that is a parent process and the child process, PID. A parent process is nothing but the very first process which has been created, and that process which is going to create the so many other child processes is known as a children process. Okay, and the very first process which has been created, it is known as a parent process. In order to keep track of the link between all these processes, we are going to maintain what? PIDs, parent IDs. So that is, it is going to give a link to me, which is a parent process, under which under that parent process, which are all the child processes going to be incorporated, and so on. So that helps me with the PIDs. Okay, and here in the textbook, he has given an example of a Solaris operating systems. So that it is going to maintain hierarchy of a parent and a child process. I'll explain you with see, I told you operations on a process, and I told you already that is it can be executed dynamically, it can be created, deleted dynamically, and everything. So now very first one is a process creation. So in the process creation, parent process, child process, process identifier, the keywords you need to remember. I explained you, right? So he has given a diagram. I told you, right? The diagram has been given, that is a Solaris operating system. Okay, so here in this hierarchy, you can observe very first process is a SCED process. SCED process is a process, it is going to be the initial process with a PID 0. Okay, under that it has been created 3 more child process. So init, page out, FS flush. Init for the initialization purpose, that is operating system loading, page out for the memory related operations, and the FS flush for the file related operations. Within a init, means initialization process, you have another 2 process emerging out, that is a net, that is for network related purpose, and DT login for the user related logins, and each and every one is having their own IDs. Here in the network related process, it has been created another process, that is a telnet, that is protocols that is used to get communicated with the internets, that is you can even use TCP, IP, and so on. Okay, and this CSH, it is a command, that is a shell interface. It is going to be an interface between the user. So this is also again another process. Within that you can see Netscape, Emacs, these are all the browsers. Okay, these are all the browsers that can be used in order to get communicated with the server. Okay, in this section, that is a login section. In the login section, you can see X session is there. It is another process. It is going to allocate a session for each and every users, and within that you have a standard shell, another process, and that allocates the that is interfacing, that is a shell environment. So through that shell environment you can run any of the commands, that is ls command, cat command, okay, date command, program command. So many commands are there. Each and every command is again a process here. So it has been reached to 2000. Here you can see almost 8000. So these are all in increasing ways. Okay, these are all in increasing ways, and it is going to keep track of which process is being created under which process, and so on. So this is just an example to show you how the process is going to be maintained in a hierarchy, so one after the other. Okay, so next in this process creation, so when the process is created, okay, so when the process is created, so you are going to have two options. Okay, so that is 2 possibilities. So in terms of execution, Okay, in terms of execution you need to have 2 points, and also in terms of the address spacing. Okay, so when the process is created, so you need to consider with respect to the execution, and when it is going to be considered with respect to the address spacing. So in terms with the execution, a parent process, okay, parent process can execute concurrently with its child process. So that I have written here. So parent continues to execute concurrently with its children. So soon after creating the child process, even the parent can execute concurrently. Okay, so otherwise the parent process can wait until the child process is going to complete or terminated, because it has assigned some task to the child process, and it is waiting for the input from the child process. So that is another option. Otherwise, another option, that is with respect to the address spacing. So when the child process is created, so it can expect the duplicate addressing from the parent, or it can also get a new completely allocated address or a program from an operating system. Two options are there. Okay, so that is with respect to the process creations. Okay, so process creation, so you need to write that this diagram. Okay, so this diagram, Solaris operating system diagram,